I have been the acting area director of Las Vegas Young Life. I've been involved in Young Life for the past 15 years of my life. Started as a student, little punk-nosed kid that gave my leaders a really hard time. Met Christ eventually through the program, became a volunteer leader. Came on staff part-time for the Latino Staff Initiative. Really learned a lot about culture and working with kids and areas that might be a little harder socioeconomically and communities that might be considered marginalized. And then after that, went back to volunteering for a little bit and then was asked to become the acting area director for Las Vegas. I grew up in a really strangely dynamic way. My mom and dad separated when I was really young, and my mom had remarried somebody who was a little bit wealthier and older than she was because it was really financially secure, while my dad just kind of fell into what he knew, which unfortunately was drug dealing and other things like that. So I spent half of my life in a middle upper class family in the middle of very suburban area. But I spent the second half of my week in the weekends with my dad in areas that might be considered less than safe, definitely tougher in the socioeconomic tier. And that kind of became my norm. So when I got into Young Life, we did really, really well with kids in that suburban Anglo-centric community, but didn't do a whole lot for the kids that were outside of that. Not just, locally in that school, which, we didn't get a lot of the kids that were, of different cultures into our Young Life Club, but more than that, we didn't have Young Life Clubs operating in places that weren't predominantly white. And when I got the opportunity to explore that and explore my culture and who I was, and how to really bridge that gap between Young Life and kids that are of different colors and cultures and ethnicities, it really resonated with who I was. And in that Latino staff program that I kind of came onto staff with, I really was able to and given the tools to deconstruct Young Life as we knew it and build it for kids in a school like Western in Las Vegas that was 67% Latino and less than 10% white, and had a very, very hard time being socioeconomically stable. And we built a club for them at the school on campus as a partnering program with the high school. And it's been amazing since the beginning, and it's continued to be amazing today. I think Ohio has so much opportunity for ministry, for growth, for us personally. One of the things that I've been doing in this past year with Young Life is that we've started a new initiative in Young Life nationally called the Young Life One Initiative, which really focuses on communities that again are marginalized and unreached and untapped. I have been selected to be one of the pioneers for Young Life in foster care and developing and building a ministry specifically for kids that are just bouncing around the system. If you see the statistics for kids that age out of foster care, it would break your heart, the amount of them that become homeless, addicted to substances, abused. And if we can stand in the middle of that and show these kids that they do matter, that they are important, that they are loved, and that there is opportunity for them, and not just that, but a community of people that are behind them that want to see them succeed. I want to be a part of that, and I want to help facilitate that. I know that Columbus doesn't have the largest Latino population in the world, and I'm a little out of my reach there, but I understand marginalized communities, and I understand what it means to walk into a world of kids that are skeptical of adults that are in their life. And I love every second of winning those kids' trust and becoming friends with them and showing them that we are there for them forever. I think the hardest part about leaving Las Vegas for me isn't necessarily what most people would think. It's not necessarily the friends or the family or the security of it. It's the kids that I get to work with that uh, have experienced nothing but a revolving door of adults in their life. And I've made it my life goal to never be one of those people that just walks in and walks out of their life. And part of me struggles and wrestles with um, leaving them. But I've done a lot of work to make sure that there were people in place that continue what I was doing with those kids as I leave and as I transition to this new stage of life.